What's going on, everybody? Adam with Etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Titan Chain alloy snow tire chains on our 2020 Mazda CX-30. So we do have some square links and they are going to form a diamond pattern, but we also have some cross chains here, and it's going to help with turning, and it's going to be a little bit better at turning than some of those ladder pattern style chains. Also, they are going to be made of a manganese nickel alloy steel, which is going to resist against that salt on the road. Obviously, if we have snow tire chains on, there's going to be snow on the road, which means there's probably going to be some salt on the road. So you don't have to worry about that hindering the quality of these chains. They're going to last quite a long time. And they are relatively smaller link sizes, so they are SAE S-Class certified. We don't have a whole lot of wheel well clearance, so they aren't going to damage the inside of our Mazda's wheel well here. So they are going to be a little bit smoother than some of those more aggressive chains. We do have some V-bar style chains that are extremely aggressive. These are going to be a lot smoother than that, just to give you a more comfortable ride. So if you guys have some cool wheels like you see here, we don't have to worry about scratching them. Why? Because we do have a coating around all the chains that are surrounding our wheels here, so we really don't have to worry about scratching them over time. Another thing I really like about these chains is that we have a built-in tensioner. I always lose things, and a lot of the chains that you guys can get here at Etrailer, you have to purchase a tensioner separately, and it's completely separate from the chains itself. This one isn't. It's built in, it's a one-piece thing. And honestly, I would just recommend it, just because if you're like me and you lose stuff all the time, it's just one less thing to keep track of. Another thing I really like is the carrying case. It's not just a canvas bag. Those rip very often and very quickly. This does have a zipper on it, and that's a nice hard case, and it does come in a pair of two. So all you have to do is just grab one of these for your Mazda here. And the nice thing about it is they store away really nicely, so we don't have to worry about getting those ladder pattern style chains all into a bag. This is just going to keep them nice and organized, and then you can just keep it in your trunk because it isn't really that big. So I would definitely recommend this. If you guys are looking at ladder pattern style chains, this car doesn't really sit up too high off the ground, and we have to make a connection around back. I would highly suggest grabbing some chains like these. If you don't like the ones we're showing you today, we have a bunch of other options here at Etrailer. First thing that we want to do is lay out our chains, make sure there's no kinks in our links or any twists or knots or anything like that. But once we have it all laid out, all we really need to do is just slide our chains behind our tire. Then we can grab both ends. We can go ahead and reach in behind our tire and make that connection, just like that. And then we can go ahead and drape our chains over the tire. We can take our little green hook. We're going to have an extra link here, and we are going to take those two and hook them together. And while we're doing this, just make little tiny adjustments. Make sure it's in the meat of the tire. Our cross chains here, we want to make sure that's in the very center of our tire. Once we get all that done, we can go ahead and grab the plastic piece around back. It might get a little hung up around that tire in the back, but so then we can go ahead and take our little red tensioner down here. We're going to take our plastic chain and give it a good tug, and then we can go ahead and loop them through these red hooks here. We can use one or two, but ideally we want to bring this across directly from where it is. So I think what I'm going to do is use just the first loop here and then bring it directly across to the upside here. But what we want to make sure is that this hook is going to be facing out, just so we don't have it facing the inside of our rims here, so we don't get any scratches. But make sure it's nice and tight. We do recommend that we roll over these a couple of times, come back out, check the tightness, and if it's still nice and tight, we're pretty much ready to hit the road. Well, everyone, that just about does it for a look at the Titan Chain alloy snow tire chains on our 2020 Mazda CX-30.